Am I audible, Ali?
Hi, Lokesh sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, have I given you any assignment yesterday?
Yes, the name list assignment.
Yeah, yeah. Were you able to do it?
Yeah, I hope I'm right. I'm just waiting for my SAS to open up. If it's
Okay,
okay.
okay, 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 okay. Any question?
Yes, actually, I do. I did write it down. Give me 1 second. Lokesh sir, when you said that the data underscore null underscore, where is it used usually in the real-time environment? Do we use that in real-time
Yeah,
environment?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Most of the time, will with calls input only, or whenever you need to check the, let's say you have written a very complex data step, fine, and you want
Mm-hmm.
to see, without storing the output anywhere, whether it's running for smoothly till end or not. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say just to check the execution, whether it's happening properly or not. For example, I write this. I say underscore null underscore. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
then I said set. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this for, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. I'm appending it, and then I'm doing something. Now, if I write a test data set here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that this much space is available, you know. But if I
Okay.
say null, this will run, but it will not store any observation anywhere. But, and let's say I write test and then run this data set. So, it runs.
Okay.
But at the same time, the data is stored somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
whenever we need to check let's say, let's assume there are so much code written here, and I just need to check I just need to see whether it's running smoothly or not without changing or storing the output. Then I can do it.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. In
Okay.
short, in nutshell, I want to use the execution environment of data step, but I don't want to store the output anywhere. I'll use data
Okay. All right. One more question, Lokesh sir. The forward rescan rule, right?
now.
Um, is there any shortcut to that, or we have to solve the whole thing?
For that question, yes, we have 2 to the power n plus 1 minus 1. Okay. Like a percent let a equal to 1, then percent let b equals to a, then percent let c equals to b. Okay. So the question was how many m% I should add before c so that it prints 1, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like before c, how many variables you have? 1 and 2. Okay. So 2 to the power 2 to the power, of just a
You
second.
can put asterisk.
2 to the power 2, you know,
Mm-hmm.
plus 1, and then whatever is the result of this equation minus 1. Now, let's look at it. What's the value of x? Huh? 1 second. 2 to the power 2 plus 1. So let's say 3, probably. So 2 to
Mm-hmm.
the power 3 is 8, minus 1 is 7. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say I write percent let d equals to c. In that case, just count how many variables. C, B, A, 3 variable. So 2 to the power 3 plus 1 means 4. 2 to the
Mm-hmm.
power 4 whatever is the result, minus 1, 15. So that many ampersand.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
But this is specific to this question. This is basically, an interview question. Most of the time, this question comes in macro interviews.
Okay. Let me see if my SAS is open.
Okay.
Lokesh sir, when we are done, I was watching the macro processing video yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the program that you did with the underscore ampersand year underscore year?
Okay. Underscore or ampersand?
It was underscore ampersand year.
Okay, okay, okay. 1 second. Let me see if I have the same program. Mm, 1 second. This must be similar to this one. Was it
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah, something like that. Yes.
Okay, all right. So first of all, here, it's very easy. We are just creating a macro variable and the value is 1998, right? It
Mm-hmm.
gets created now. Many a time the question comes when we start with the topics like, okay, I do understand how to create the variable, but where is the usage? Where would we use it? Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
initially, for any aspirant, it becomes a little difficult to connect. So that's why we show this example. Suppose your task is to create n number of data sets. Let's say I have data for 5 years. So I need to create 5 data sets, one for each year. Okay. So here I have test underscore year. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would be the name? Name would be test underscore whatever is the value of year.
Yeah.
Fine. After that, the data set name, then where year equals to whatever is the value of year. Okay. What will it do? Let's say I've written 1998. So the name of the data set would be test underscore 1998. It will take this data set as an input,
Mm-hmm.
but filter all the observation where the value of year is 1998.
1999.
Suppose, yeah. So this program, let's say, will be resolved as this. Okay. Suppose you have to do it for 20 years. So rather than copy paste this program and, make the changes again. And suppose here I have just examples of 3 changes. You have to make 5 or 15 changes. Then it's an irritating job. Fine. So what people do, rather than whatever is repeating, whatever is repetitive, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can optimize it with macros to reduce your coding efforts. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what I've done, wherever I need to add 1998 or any value of year in the program, I have used macro variable instead of the hard coded value. And I'm just going to change the value here.
Mm-hmm.
And it will automatically see the data is created test underscore 1998. The
Yeah.
data has everything for 1998 and this is year plus 10. Okay. Now I want to make it for 97. I don't need to make any changes here. I'll just write 97. It is automatically take. Okay.
Oh.
Fine, one. And in this, let me help you to understand one more concept. Suppose the name I want is year underscore test. So I want underscore year and then test. So that as of now, the name is test underscore 1998. I want underscore 1998 test. Okay.
Mhm.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay.
I'll be back in a minute too.
Yes. So now, what do we do here is yes. So let's say year underscore test. I want it. Okay. And I told you dot is optional. We may or may not use it, but there are certain situations where we have to use it. Okay. I'm just explaining that point here. So if I use a dot and run this program, it gives me the output as per my see expectation. Now what do I do is I don't use dot and let me change the value 1996. Okay. And now I run this program. So what happens? It gives me an error. And the error is it says year test not resolved. It is not saying the macro variable year not resolved. It is taking the entire string as a macro variable here.
Okay. So
Fine.
dot is mandatory here.
Yeah. Whenever macro variable is used in middle of string, then dot is required.
Okay.
Else dot is not required.
Okay.
Fine? Now, uh, any other question you have?
Um, I think that's about it for now. I did text you the code that I
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah. I'm just copying.
Loki sir, could you give me 1 second?
Yeah, sure, sure. Take your time. I'm checking your
Thank you.
program. Ugh.
Sorry, Loki sir.
Okay, okay, that's okay. Just a second. I'm going through your program.
Sure.
Yes, this program is right. Okay, but it's better if you can also do this. Okay, then also it is good, and you can have this value. See, but the comma sign is not coming in. That's okay. You use carex.
Mhm.
That's it.
Put
So
it
comma
in.
would, yeah. Oh my God, I'm not sure what's happening. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, just let me
Happy.
get a glass of water. Okay,
Sure.
just 2 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back. So now today, uh, we will start proc SQL into colon. Okay, so I should say creating macro variable through SQL, proc SQL. Fine. Whatever we did with calls input, the same thing we will do using proc SQL. That's it. Okay. So like yesterday, we were dumping one value in one macro variable. We were dumping multiple values in one macro variable, and we
Yeah.
were creating multiple macro variable with
Mm.
one, one value.
Yeah.
We can dump or create it with multiple values as well. So the
Yeah.
same thing will replicate here, and it is completely a user's choice whether he or she wants to use SQL to create the macros or data step. Okay,
Mhm.
but related to data step, one point is which you won't understand as of now, but if you want to make a note of it, you can. Okay, I'll explain it later. Calls input always create global macro variable. It always create global macro variable. Okay, so as of now, just write it. Later on, I'll explain how and why. Okay, now suppose I write select um, sum of age in sorry from, so what it gives me the total age. If I need to dump it in a macro variable, no, not a fight, it's very easy. You just write into colon tot underscore age, and it works, and it gives me have I printed it? No. Person put ampersand tot underscore age, and it gives me the total age here in a macro.
Okay.
Fine.
Mhm.
As I am allowed to write multiple calls input, similarly, multiple calls input to create multiple variable. Similarly, I can create multiple macro variables in SQL as well. For example, I write sum of height, comma, sum of weight, three values. Let me just show you that. See, I want this in total age, total height, total weight. In that case, I can use one single into colon, but separated by comma, again colon, let's say tot underscore height, and then I can say comma colon underscore weight. Fine. And then okay. So it prints that value. But see, again one thing. See, so many spaces are coming in,
Yeah.
and it is just because of the same reason that numbers are getting converted to characters. Okay. But let's say I write, you know, what should I say? The put function. And I say sum of age, comma, 2 dot. Okay. And let me just write age in the end. What happened? One second. Width out of range. Okay, 253. It got 3, Okay. Now see this. This 253 is one space. Have I added one space here? Oh, it's this space actually. This one. So see, there is no space between comma and tot age. And I myself have converted from numbers to character using put function. And when I go to the log, see, it is not coming with any space, but these values are coming with space. Okay. The same reason. But see, data step informs you whenever it does the automatic conversion, but proc SQL is not informing you.
Okay.
Right now. I need to dump multiple values. So let's say I write age. And here, if I say select age from Sassel.class, what will it do? It will select the entire age column. And I write into colon AG, for example. So when I write AG here, what's happening?
It's copying from age to AG.
AG, yes. But let me remind you one thing. Yesterday we did the same thing, set sas help dot class, and I said call simput ag comma age, right? When I did that, let me percent put ampersand ag dot. What happened? Ag, it printed what?
It took the
50,
last option.
right? Because data step allows overwriting. SQL does not allow okay, so now see what will happen. So the first value is 14.
Yeah.
And here it prints 14. Okay. So the same rule applies here as well. If I need total, I'm going to do this. If I need all the ages, or let's say name, in one single macro variable, like you did, what we can do, name or any variable you can take, okay, into, let's say, name list. But there is a keyword here. Okay. separated by whatever delimiter you want to use here, you can, and see what happens. So people love this approach rather than using a data step to do the same thing. You don't have to think of any logic, just write the keyword, right? And
Yeah.
that's done. So if you have to do the same thing for multiple, let's say I have name, then I have age, then I have height. So the same rule which we have followed here, okay? First variable belongs to first
Name.
column, yeah, name, right? Let me just write it in the next line like this, then comma, colon, second age list,
Or you don't have
this
to write
one.
it all the time. Just
No, no,
some.
no, no. Yeah, like I've done here, see?
Okay.
Okay. But I think we can. I'll try. I'm not sure on that part.
No, age.
It is age list. Oh, age list. Okay. Then I have name list. Oh, let's say name list. Then I
Wait.
have age
Age.
list. And then
Wait.
wait list, WT list. Okay. So I have three variables and see name list, age list, wait list. Okay. And at the same time, I may not want to print this result. For that, I can write no print. Okay. And the things are solved. The moment I write no print, it is just giving me the output in the log window. No result is generated.
Okay.
Now, so we have covered first three methods: %let, calls input, proxy
Okay.
equal into. Okay. The fourth one is macro mend, right?
Mhm.
Fine. So now whatever I type, you have to copy the same thing. Copy in the sense, type it again on your laptop
Okay.
parallelly. And I will also be giving you a very small assignments, okay? So that you practice the macro code at the same time. And then let's see how many concept we cover today.
Okay.
First of all, macros, it's there to automate or optimize the coding effort. Fine. So number one. Number two, it's a text processing unit or SAS. So any macro code will not execute your SAS program. It will just generate the code for SAS program, and then the SAS compiler will execute it. The same thing you must have seen in the macro processing as well. The
Yeah.
macro processor just resolve the macros and give it to the word processor, word scanner, and the word
Word.
scanner send it to SAS compiler. Okay, now fine. Let's talk about macros now. Any macro would start with a keyword %macro and end with percent mend. Okay, like I write macro. Mm, what's wrong in it? Okay, percent macro, percent mend. With percent macro, let me write the syntax here. Okay, it is percent macro, then macro name. Okay, this forward slash mean optional. Okay, parameters. So parameters are optional, and after that, percent mend and macro name. This is optional. Okay, and between that, you can have complete or partial. Oh my God, which colleague? Just complete or partial SAS statements. Okay, um, or fine. Now, no. Yes, one second. I'm forgetting one thing. Yes, before I start, I should also tell you one thing. There are two types of macros. Those two types are number one, non-parameterized. Number two, parameterized. Okay. So non-parameterized mean you don't need to pass any input. Okay. The macro will run on its own. Parameterized mean you need to pass the input. You getting my point?
Mhm.
Means the macro would need certain values from you and then it will run. So that is parameterized. Non-parameterized, you just mention the macro name. You don't pass anything. It doesn't need anything from you. It will run. That is no. And in parameterized, we again have a bifurcation, which I'll explain with, after some time with example. One is positional, and the second one is non-positional. Okay, so that is what I'll explain now. So we are done with it here. Just a second. Okay, now suppose I need to create a macro, and the macro is whenever you call it, it prints a data set. So I write person macro, print ds, non-parameterized, and mend, and I write it proc print data equals to SAS help dot class, or let's say air, and run. Okay. So now, like to call a macro, to call a macro variable, we use ampersand sign, right?
Yeah.
To call a macro, we use a percent sign and macro name. Okay.
Mm.
To call a macro, we use percent followed by macro name. Example, percent macro name. Okay. So like I've written here. Fine. Now
So
what print?
macro use proc print all the time with Locator?
No. This is just for demonstration.
Oh,
Okay. This is just to explain. After 10 to 20, 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be creating your macro. Don't worry. It's very easy.
oh.
So it's just, a myth like macro is really, really tough. It's not tough. But if you are not good in building logic, then it's tough. Okay. So before writing macro, you have to be clear that what logic you are going to build. If your logic part is clear, you'll be able to create a macro. Okay. Now, see, first of all, print ds means what? Print ds means whatever is written inside print ds. Everything is part of this macro. Print ds is the name of the macro, and it actually means it will resolve to this code. One thing. Second, you can have one line or thousands and thousands of line in the macro. Don't, it's not a problem. Okay, no limit on that. Now, let me run this. By running the macro mend, you just define it. Like I write percent let x equal to 10. What's happening? I am defining this macro variable. Fine, nothing happened. Similarly here, I just defined it. Okay. To resolve the value of x, what do I write?
Person put.
Yeah, the person put is just to see in the log. Otherwise, I would only use this like I was using here. This one.
Oh.
I didn't use person put because I don't want to see it in the log. I just want to use it in my program. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, similarly, I want to use the macro. I use person print ds, and now see what happens. It runs. It write a message in the log that 144 observation read from this, and the data is print. Please try to create a macro to print any particular data set. Then we'll move ahead. Now you have to parallelly write code with me.
You want me to use the same data set or?
Anything, any data set of your choice. Okay. I'm giving you 2 minutes. I'm just making a call and then I'll come back. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. You're able to do it.
Yeah, I did SAS help and it did print. Okay, sir, I have a question. So for %print ds, when we are calling the macro, we don't need
Uh-huh.
to put the colon over there?
Very good question. I was expecting this question. So it's not mandatory. However, if you want, you can add. And there would be certain situation where you won't need it. Okay. Let's say my print ds means something and this semicolon is creating a problem. I can ignore that. It's not required
So even
because
dot, we don't need
because
dot e.
yeah, we don't need dot. So dot is not at all required and this semicolon is optional. Okay.
Okay. So you were saying why we don't need, sometimes it creates a problem?
Mm, let's say you have written partial codes. How should I explain? Let me try. See. Okay. That's this one. So my, let me just change the name one. Okay. So my print ds1 means what I said. It can contain complete or partial SAS statements or steps. Fine. So
Mm-hmm.
data equal to sassel.air. It's a piece of this code,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now I
Yeah.
write proc print and then I say what? This one
Mm-hmm.
percent this. And this means what? This
That.
line,
Mm-hmm.
correct? And after that, run. And let me see if I could do this. First, let me run it with semicolon. So it prints, and suppose I have OBS equals to 10. Okay, so right. Suppose I want that, so I cannot end it with a semicolon here. Then I have to ignore it. You getting my point?
Kind of.
Okay. One second. See, what does it mean? So I am adding proc print before this data. So proc print data, the complete statement would be proc print data
That.
equals to sassel.air
Mm-hmm.
semicolon and then run.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's not giving me any error because the semicolon is coming from here. That's why if I don't add it, it's okay. And
Okay.
if I add it, then also it is okay. Fine. Same thing. As of now, no impact. But suppose whatever data it is coming from this print ds, I want to print only 10 observations. So I wrote OBS equals to 10. Now, by adding a semicolon here means it's a different statement.
Yeah.
But actually, the syntax of writing OBS is this. You write it like before the semicolon only you have to mention OBS equals to 10, right?
Yeah.
But what happening here? A semicolon is coming in middle. So I have to remove it. And if I don't, see what happens. Error. See, that's what got resolved. Okay. But if I remove this semicolon, it is resolved as this code. So it depends.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, uh, so this is a non-parameterized macro. Let me comment it. Now, let me create a parameterized macro. So this time I will tell which data needs to be printed. Okay. So suppose I write ds equals to, fine. I can write both either ds or ds equal to, but first I'm starting with equal to. Later on, I'll tell you how
It's
to avoid
meaning
that.
data set.
I'm sorry, come again.
DS meaning data set.
Yes, data set. So I'm just keeping a parameter name which is intuitive. I can write anything. I can write a equal to as well, but I don't know what a is. So always try to do one thing whenever you create any variable, data set, or anything, try to keep the intuitive name that helps you in understanding what it actually is. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say ds equals to mean I am taking data set name. Now,
Okay.
where is my data set? Here. Suppose I want to design a macro where whatever dataset name of SASL library, if I pass any dataset name of SASL library, it should give me or print that particular dataset.
Okay.
Okay. So now I write data equal to SASL dot ampersand ds. Okay. Now, whatever parameter we define, listen to me carefully. Whatever parameter we define in macros, that acts like a macro variable which can be used inside within the boundary of macromen. So I'm creating ds equal to, so it automatically becomes a macro variable and you can use it inside macromen anywhere. That means it's not global, it is local. And the
Oh,
locality is this. The scope of this macro is this only, this macro only.
it's restricted to just that.
Yes, it is restricted to this area only. You cannot use it outside. But don't write anything about it as of now. It's a separate topic. It has some exceptions and everything. I'll be telling you everything in detail about it,
Oh,
okay? Otherwise, you'll confuse.
oh,
Okay. Now, so one thing is clear, whatever parameter we write, that becomes the macro variable, okay? Which can be used inside macroman. Is that point clear?
yeah.
Okay, now, so initially when you are practicing it, every time you create a macro, keep a new name. Fine, there is no reason behind it, but it helps you, you know, it keeps you away from any confusion which you can make or mistake which you can make as a beginner.
Oh,
Later on, you can override the macro again and again. Not at all a problem. So ds2. And I say print ds2, and this time I write ds equals to air. Yeah, air. Okay.
you define it over in print statement, basically, in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
function map.
yeah. See, so this is defined. Print ds2 is defined now.
Oh,
And whenever I will call it, I will have to pass this, the value of this. It actually saying whenever you call, you have to pass a value. As of now, nothing. So when I called it, I passed air. So this ds is resolved as
air.
air. And when I call it, it prints air. Suppose I want to print something else. So I write class. I don't need to write this entire code now, you know, and it prints class. This time, let's say I write something else, BMI, and it prints. Oh, BMI doesn't exist. Which data set? BER, okay. BER, okay. And it prints that. Please repeat this code. Is it a bigger one? You right. I think I printed a very big data set. Try to create this macro at your end.
It's saying air dataset does not exist.
One second. Let me make you co-host, and then only I'll be able to see your screen.
Oh, never mind, got it.
You got it? Okay. So we can switch the screen if faster. Now, so you got it. Now, what we do is, as of now, the macro is only going to print the data sets which exist in SASLP library. Okay. So before that, Ali, you do let me know whenever it becomes, little tough for you or enough for today. Okay. So as
Okay.
long as you are enjoying it and you are okay with the content, we'll continue. The moment
Okay.
it becomes a headache for you, let me know. Okay. Fine. So this macro is printing the dataset which exists in SASLP library. Now, let's do one thing that, we will create a macro which would ask or take two parameters from the user. And those two parameters would be number one, the library name, number two, the dataset name. Fine. So now I think you should share your screen. You directly go and share your screen and write the code. I will see how are you doing it. Yes, I can now see your screen. Do that. Are you clear with the question?
Yeah.
Okay. What is lib? Ali, what is lib?
The library?
Yeah. So library is a macro variable, correct?
Yeah.
So where is the ampersand sign?
Um,
Yes. Now, still there is a mistake, but I won't tell you that. You have to run this code and correct your error. Go ahead.
okay.
No, it will say, you have to pass the
I
DS
would have
name.
to. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't passed the value of the
Yep.
parameters,
Sorry.
right?
But then I
What,
would
what,
have to pass lib too.
yeah, you have to pass the value of library. Still there is an error. You have to tell me what's that error.
If your data does not exist. But then I
Do-
did provide SAS help, right? Lib
Yes,
equals.
yes. Read this line carefully from error. Error, what it is telling? File.
Work dot SAS
What does it
help.
mean? Work.sassle pair.
SAS help. Oh, it did not create it in work library.
No, it is
There is
trying
no.
to
There's.
find.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. it's trying to find a data set by the name
Data.
Sassel Air. Where in work library? Do I want it? No. I want it to search air dataset in SASLP library.
Oh, you're supposed to have another dot at lib.
Yes, yes, you got it. Yes. Why? Because this dot is going with library, lib macro
Lib dot.
variable. Yes. Now you run it. See, it prints, or you type some other. As of now, we don't have any other library, but if you create one, you can do so. Okay. Now, uh, suppose you only need to create this macro. Okay, just copy paste this entire thing, and this one, yeah, only this one, correct. Just paste it. Now, so far we were passing one data set and we were printing one data set of one library. Now I want to design a macro which should take four data sets name from me and print all four of them. Of, let's say, all of them belongs to a single library, SASL. Okay. So please try to design that macro. I will help you, but you try to write. Mhm. DS equal to 4, DS equal to
Sorry, sorry. I don't know how to do that over here. Like
that's
how,
it. DS1.
but you said you want all four, right?
All four. So what you can do, you can copy paste this proc print for four times. Then DS1, DS2, DS3, DS4. That's it.
Okay.
Inside the macro itself. Hmm.
So this will be two. This will be three. This will
Wow. Now your macro is ready. So you define it, then call your macro, change the name, print DS4.
okay.
Though you can do it for 3 as well, but let's follow that practice as of now. And pass four dataset names here. And make sure you are taking smaller datasets.
I don't know which other data set is smaller.
You
You
can
said yeah.
take, let me see which one. You can take by, BUY. BUY, why? Okay, yeah. And one second. PRD SAL2 is a very big data set, okay? Take a smaller one. Let's say cars. Take cars. Okay, now. You have taken class, air, cars, and buy. Okay, it's taking time. Probably buy is a smaller data set, but buy is very small, and then cars. Cars is also small. Okay. Okay. So all four are printed. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fine. Now, so it seems like as of now, if I need to print 400 data sets, and if
Mhm.
I follow this method, I have to, write 400 proc print inside this macro, and then, pass 400 values in 400 parameters. So it's better to write a hard coded code rather than designing a macro for it. But what is easy if I design a macro in such a way that whether I have one data set or 1000 data set, it automatically detects it and then print it accordingly. Let's say if I pass five dataset name, it prints five dataset. If I pass 10 dataset names, it prints 10 datasets. Getting my point?
Mhm.
Okay. So our objective is to create such macro. So first of all, let's copy paste this macro one more time. So far good? You're getting things?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, instead of just change the name, print ds5. Okay, print ds5. Yes. Okay. Now, instead of writing ds1, ds2, ds3, ds4, just write ds list. So we will ask the user to pass the list, dataset name, separated by space, you know ds list. And let's assume, all of them are in Sassel for the timing. Remove lib equal to as well. Later on, we can add. Okay. And only write one proc print. Remove all of them. Okay. Now, just try to call this print ds5 like you have called print ds4, no? The same
Shall I
way.
put DS list over here?
No, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Just uh, try to call this macro first. Print ds5 and bracket ds list equals to type four dataset names with space. No comma, space.
Just
Comma means a new parameter. Okay, that's why. Now, if I, now you go inside the macro, print data equal to sashelp dot ampersand ds list. Okay. By doing that, what's happening? If I
yeah.
run this macro, what error I would see?
We need one more dot, I think, in front of ampersand.
No. Why we don't need it? Because sashelp is a hard coded value now. If I write ampersand lib dot, then I need one more dot because one dot for macro variable and the another dot is for lib dot ds naming convention. Okay. Now the question is, if I run this macro and call it, what possible error I could see in the log? Try to guess that.
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay, run this. See, now see the log. Yeah. What error do you see?
Syntax error.
Okay, now go to the code. Whatever is written inside macroman, copy it like proc print step, copy that step. Yeah. No. Only the inner part, proc print run, you know. Okay, yeah. Copy and paste it outside after print ds. Fine, yes. Hmm. Yeah, print it here. Now, no. Now, wait.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it.
Okay. Now, in line number 291, just write percent let space ds list equals to all the all the data set name which you have mentioned as a parameter. Okay, and then semicolon. So now what does it mean? It means ds list value is this.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this is string of 4 words. And when you know now copy this proc print for one more time and paste it below. Yes, and replace ds list by the value of ds list. You know, which is air space class space car space by. So do you see any syntax error here? Actually, when we write proc print, we can only pass data equals to one data set. We cannot write multiple data set like this, and that's the error. Go to the log, come down. Oh, you missed that. Okay, run that incorrect code one more. Oh, okay, you haven't. See, so it's telling you that now. Syntax error. It's underlining that part that something is wrong here. Okay. And by looking at the code, you should understand what's the mistake. So what I have to do, what my challenge is that though the user have given me a complete string, but I cannot pass all the values in one go. I have to pass the value one by one. Are you getting me what I'm trying to say? So first, let's say there are 4 data sets. So let me pick up the first one, print it, then let me pick up the second one, then I'll print, then I'll pick up the third one, and so on and so forth. That's how I'll go, because my proc print cannot accept more than one value. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Now, which function helps me in extracting a word out of a string?
Count W.
No, that counts the number of words. I want to extract the third word. Which function?
Substring.
Come again?
Substring.
No. Scan.
Scan. Oh yes, scan. Sorry.
Okay. Now, so whatever scan function we have in data step in base SAS, the same scan function is available in macro. The only difference is here the scan function starts with percent sign. So all macro keyword would either start with ampersand or percent sign. Okay, like put and percent put. Similarly, scan, here we have percent scan. Okay, so in the external proc print, where line number 292, where you have ds list, just before ampersand, write percent scan. Bracket start, and then after ds list comma and write 1. Don't run this.
Are we
Okay.
writing one location?
Yeah. Now, after line number 291, add an enter sign. After by. After this percent let statement. Yes. Now here write percent put. Then the same scan function, percent scan, ampersand ds list, comma 1. Just do that. So this is just to check what this scan function is doing. One means the first word, just add a semicolon after it and run this line number 291 and 2. No. After the bracket, not before the bracket. In line
Oh,
number
my bad.
292. Yeah. Yeah. So now run this 291 and 292 only. Two lines only.
291 and 292.
Yeah. Okay. You run that. What is printed in the log? Air. And if you change the number, let's say 2 or 3 or 4, it will pick up that particular word and print it.
Oh,
You got it?
yeah.
Okay. Now go to the code. Fine. So in my macro above, print ds5, you
Mhm.
can copy or cut it from there and paste it below. Yeah. Now, so instead of writing ds list, I will write percent scan function here in line number 296. Yeah. So now my second challenge is, how would I know that how many time I have to run this proc print? So the
Okay.
answer is whatever number of words I have in this string, that many time I need to run this proc print. Correct?
Yeah.
So if user have passed 10 data set, I have to run it for 10 times. So which function is there to count the number of words in a string?
Count words, count W.
Yeah, correct. Count W. Okay. Okay. Now come to line number 287 one more time.
Okay.
Yeah. After the semicolon, add an enter. And now write percent put. Okay. And then say count W. Okay. Bracket start, ampersand ds list, bracket close, semicolon. So I'm just trying to run this. Now run only this line number 288. Only run this line. And what would it print? What do you think? What would it print? See, it's not giving me that count. It's just printing it. Tell me why it's happening.
Because we didn't put any person sign in front of count W.
Yes, you're right. So we have to write add percent sysfunc. It's a function. And as of now, put is treating it as a string. So percent sysfunc, bracket start, and at the end, bracket. No, not percent count W. So
Yeah.
not every base SAS function is available with macro. Sorry, it's bad on my part. I didn't tell you. So not all the functions of base SAS are available in macro. Very few. Let's say scan, substr, upcase, lowcase, and one or two more. Fine. But any function which is not available and I need to run it, I will add percent sysfunc before it. Like we did, I think, day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. So sysfunc, bracket start, though it looks little complex, that's it. Now only run this line. Yes. See what you see. It gives you
4. It runs
4.
all 4 of them.
Yes. So I know, or this count W can tell me how many time I need to run this.
Okay.
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 Now go to the macro print ds5 and copy this line and not this one, the line number 288. Okay. And print it after 296. Before proc print, just print. Just paste it.
Right here.
Yeah. No. Inside the macro.
You click the map.
Yeah. After this line. Yes. Okay. So now you have to answer this question. Let's say I have a statement in a data step and I need to run that particular statement for 1000 times. One thing is I can paste that statement for 1000 times. What is my second choice? What can I do? If I need to run something again and again and again, I'm sorry.
Shall we use do loop for that?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Now, come after line number 297, press and enter. Yes, write do.
Question do, right?
No. Let's only write do first. Though we
Okay.
will be writing person do only, but you yourself will do it. You will understand it then. Do I equals to 1, 2. And then either I can write this entire sysfunc string here, which will return me a number. Okay. And let's do that. I hope you understand. It will give me 4. So copy and paste it after 2. Semicolon. Okay. And end it after run. So after line number 300, add an enter sign and end. Yeah, %, fine. So can you scroll up a bit? Yes. Now, all macro keyword starts with % or ampersand. Here, % would come. So before do, to, and end, you've already added. Fine. So it becomes a macro loop now. One thing which is important is do loop executes inside data step. Fine. You cannot use it outside. Similarly, macro do loop executes inside
Yeah.
macro mend. Okay. If you want to write it, please write it down. Okay. This is extremely important. People make mistakes. Yeah. You can write macro do loop because there are two do loops. Okay. No. Do loop works within macro do loop. No. Macro and mend. That was correct initially at the beginning. Macro do loop.
Oh, okay. Right here.
So there are two loops. One do loop belongs to data step. One do loop belongs to macro mend. Okay. Now, so we have our loop ready, which will run this proc print for 4 times or whatever number of words I have in that string. And I am counting the number of words. Person put, if you want, you can remove that, or if you want to keep it, you can keep it there. It's totally your choice. Line number 297. It's not required in the macro. Fine. Now I'm running this proc print for 4 times, but every time I run, am I passing the correct value? The answer is no. You have written %scan ds list. Okay. So how would I uh, pass only one dataset name to my proc print? By using scan function. So I've written scan ds list, and after that add a comma and write %I. Now why %? Because it's a macro do loop. So the index variable I automatically becomes a macro. In base SAS do loop, whenever we add I, that becomes a permanent variable, right? You must be remembering it, that I comes to the output. Do you recall it?
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, here I becomes a macro variable and I can use it if I want. Fine.
Yep.
Now, let's read this macro for one more time from line number 296. Okay, so first thing, my macro name print ds5, and it will just take a string from the user. Okay, it can be any number of words, mean any number of data set it can have. The moment value we go in,
One quick thing. So this is what do you call parameterized, right? This
correct,
one.
it's a parameterized macro. Now, the question can be, what if I have a parameterized macro and the user does not pass, and I want to handle that situation? We'll do that tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
fine. We have to go slow on this part, otherwise, you may get confused. So now, line number 297, it's not required, but we are just printing the count of words there. Okay, how many data sets are there? Then I am using the same equation to run my loop, and I'm telling the end value. I will start from 1 and run my loop for whatever number of data sets I have. Are you
Yeah.
clear till to line number 298?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, very simple. My proc print is running. Every time it runs, let's say in the first iteration, by using scan function, I'm extracting the first word, then second, then third, then fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. Your macro is ready. You can pass any list of your data sets and then call this macro. See what's happening.
And then can I print it?
Yes.
Oh, so when I want to print it, I just do I have to write all four data sets over here?
Yes.
Look,
Yes. 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 Yes.
so it doesn't matter how many data sets we have. When we want to print it, we have
Yes.
to all the data sets.
Yes. 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 We can write. So here, if you want to test it at home, just do one thing. In line number 299, before semicolon, line number 299 before semicolon, open bracket start, OBS equals to 2 or 3, so that if by mistake I write a very big data set name here, only two observations are printed and my application won't hang. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
This is just for testing purpose. Now you write thousands of data set names here. Fine. It will work. Have you defined the macro? Okay, now you're doing it. Fine. Run that. Okay, good. So now I am giving you an assignment. You have to write a macro code for it. And whatever project code you have written for Vikhyat's project, you can start thinking of automating it. Just think about it. What all thing would you do? I will help you in the class itself to automate it. Okay.
Which
And you will,
we
uh,
kept it
I think
to.
Vikyat, two projects. Wherever you think, I'm leaving it on you. You have to diagnose it, that what all thing can be optimized with macro.
Okay.
Wherever you have repetitive task, you will optimize it with macro. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So now your assignment is, you have to write a macro code where the user will pass or provide you a data set name. Okay, and your macro will rename all the variable of that data set. Okay, so if I say rename, means what new name I will assign.
Mhm.
So you will just, your macro should add x underscore before every variable. Let's say, for example, I have sassel.class and I pass that. The dataset name, sorry, the variable name is name, age, sex, height, and weight. So now what your macro should do, it should rename all the variable and it should look like x underscore name, x underscore age, x underscore height. That's how it should be.
Okay.
Okay. You can store this renamed data set in the work library.
Okay.
That is not at all a problem. Okay. So
Okay.
you have to think on that. I think I'm done for today. If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll connect tomorrow.
I might have more questions tomorrow for you.
Okay. All right. But please practice it. Whatever we have done, without taking the reference of this code, try to recall all the codes after 6 to 7 hours. So it's
Okay.
morning as of now, right? Try to do
Yeah.
it in the evening around 6. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
Without taking reference. Because see, if you just look at this code, it looks scary, you know. Oh my God, what are we doing here? But actually, it's not like that. You understand things, it would look easy to you. And trust me, I'll make you perfect in macros. Fine.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just try to complete this assignment. Don't try to search the solution on Google. Try to build on your own.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Ali. Then thank you so much. And I'll
Thank,
connect with you tomorrow. Bye bye.
thank you. Bye.